read a whole chapter. It's not very long. This whole chapter. We're going to read pillar number 2 in Caste by Isabel Wilkerson. I'm pretty sure everybody who's in here knows this, but just in case you don't, we're reading Caste by Isabel Wilkerson, The Origins of Our Discontent. You're welcome to keep having conversation. I have to get used to the fact that this is not mirrored. Keep having conversations over in the chat section. If a troll comes in here, I can't imagine they will find me here yet, even though I state it over on the Tiki-Taki. I don't think they'll bother. We just report them. Apparently that works here. You can just report them. Don't engage. And I think that's everything. Yeah. So we're reading about 8 pillars of caste as delineated by Isabel Wilkerson. The first caste was divine will and laws of nature. And now we're reading heritability. To work, each caste society relied on clear lines of demarcation in which everyone was ascribed a rank at birth and a role to perform, as if each person were a molecule in a self-perpetuating organism. You were born. Oh, welcome. I'm glad you found us here, Annie Noy. I'm going to have to get used to that name. Welcome here, Reddit. Good. You were born to a certain caste and remained in that caste, subject to the high status or low stigma it conferred, for the rest of your days and into the lives of your descendants. Thus, heritability became the second pillar of caste. In India, it was generally the father who passed his rank to his children. In America, dating back to colonial Virginia, children inherited the caste of their mother, both by law and by custom. And in disputes beyond these parameters, a child was generally to take the status of the lower-ranking parent. The Virginia General Assembly declared the status of all people born in the colony. Quote, whereas some doubts have arisen whether children got by any Englishman upon a Negro woman should be slave or free, be it therefore enacted and declared by this present Grand Assembly that all children born in this country shall be held bond or free only according to the condition of the mother. This was decreed by the Assembly in 1662. Yeah, the chat is very different in here. So if there's stuff going on, I did put it to live chat, so I should be seeing everything, but I think there's a bit of a lag. With this decree, the colonists were breaking from English legal precedent, the only precepts they had ever known, the ancient order that gave children the status of their father. This new law allowed enslavers to claim the children of Black women, the vast majority of whom were enslaved, as their property for life and for ensuing generations. It invited them to impregnate the women themselves if so inclined, the richer it would make them. Yay! It converted the Black womb into a profit center and drew sharper lines around the subordinate caste, as neither mother nor child could make a claim against an upper caste man, and no child springing from a Black womb could escape condemnation to the lowest rung. It moved the colonies toward a bipolar hierarchy of whites and non-whites, and specifically a conjoined caste of whites at one end of the ladder, and at the other end, those deemed Black due to any physical manifestation of African ancestry. Tied conveniently as it was to what one looked like, membership in either the upper or the lower caste was deemed immutable, primordial, fixed from birth to death, and thus regarded as inescapable. He may neither earn nor wed his way out, wrote the scholars Allison Davis and Burley and Mary Gardner in Deep South, their seminal 1941 study of caste in America. 26 degrees in Houston. Good Lord. See, here's the thing. Whatever your coldest is, it's fucking cold. So it doesn't matter that mine is also fucking cold and looks more impressive. 26 in Houston is stupid. All right. So clearly I'm distractible today. It is the fixed nature of caste that distinguishes it from class, a term to which it is often compared. Class is an altogether separate measure of one's standing in society, marked by level of education, income, occupation, as well as attendant characteristics such as accent, taste, manners that flow from socioeconomic status. These can be acquired through hard work and ingenuity, or lost through poor decisions or calamity. If you can act your way out of it, then it is class, not caste. Through the years, wealth and class have insulated some people born to the subordinate caste in America, but not protected them from humiliating attempts to put them in their place or to remind them of their caste position. Centuries after the American caste system took shape along the Chesapeake, the most accomplished of lower caste people have often found ways to transcend caste, but rarely to fully escape it. Like the Hindu caste system, the black white distinction in the United States has supplied a social hierarchy determined at birth and arguably immutable even by achievement, wrote the legal scholars Raymond T. Diamond and Robert J. Cottrell. Blacks became like a group of American untouchables, ritually separated from the rest of the population. In the winter of 2013, the Academy Award winning actor Forrest Whitaker, a distinguished middle aged African American man, walked into a gourmet delicatessen on the west side of Manhattan for a bite to eat. Seeing it crowded or not finding what he wanted, he turned to leave without making a purchase, as many customers might. An employee thought it suspicious and blocked him at the door. That level of intervention was uncharacteristic. At an establishment frequented by celebrities and college students, the employee frisked him up and down in front of other customers. Finding nothing, he allowed Whitaker, visibly shaken, to leave. The delicatessen owners later apologized for the incident and fired the employee, but the degradation of that moment stayed with the actor. It's a humiliating thing for someone to come and do that, Whitaker said afterward. It's attempted disempowerment. Wow, they closed work for you. Whew. Yeah, you shouldn't be out working in that. Neither wealth nor celebrity has insulated those born to the subordinate caste from the police brutality that seems disproportionately trained on those at the bottom of the hierarchy. In 2015, New York City police officers broke an NBA player's leg outside of a nightclub in Manhattan. The injury left the player, a forward for the Atlanta Hawks, disabled for the rest of the season. It resulted in a $4 million settlement, the proceeds of which the player promptly said he would donate to a foundation for public defenders. In 2018, police officers slammed a former NFL player to the ground after a disagreement he had with him. That spring shows officers twisting Desmond Merrow's arms and legs and shoving him face down onto the pavement. Then they turned him over and held him down by the throat. He passes out under their weight. After the video went viral, an internal investigation was conducted and an officer was fired. No matter how great you become in life, no matter how wealthy you become, how people worship you, or what you do, NBA star LeBron James told reporters just the year before, if you are an African man or African American man or African American woman, you will always be that.